Now, it appears that South African government has been getting some pressure to impose retaliation tariffs onto the US, right? Because this comes after the United States of America imposed tariffs on over 60 countries, which included our very own South Africa. As South Africa, we got 30% tariffs, and it was a take it or leave it tariffs. And now, just yesterday, our president or the government responded and saying that they will not be imposing a retaliation. They will not be fighting or retaliating against the tariffs that the US has imposed onto South Africa, which is something that is very, very interesting, right? Because there are some people, like I said, that want South Africa to retaliate to show the US that will make them taste their own medicine, right? Or will make them take a jab of their own medicine, and that is to fight back by imposing retaliation tariffs onto the US. And this is not happening. And our government saying that they will not be doing this, which is yeah, pretty much interesting because it appears that the government has been trying to get hold of Trump and his administration to try to chat to talk about the tariffs that they just hit South Africa with the 30%. Remember the 30%, it is over and above the 10% that we were hit with back in April, and therefore seeing South Africa not retaliating, it is something that to some people it is showing like we are weak, right? And yeah, I must say at a certain point we need to also hold our own ground, because in as much as yes, America is the strongest economy, in as much as America is because of our two-way trades, there are so many people or South Africans that have gotten job opportunities because of that. We need to also fight back because America or the US still needs our minerals. There are certain things that they still need from us, critical minerals, and this is very important for us to also flag that, or to show them that we will hold or we will stop or restrict or put additional measures to our minerals, right? But that is not the case, of course. The government wants to make sure that we have or we continue doing some good trade or continue trading with the US, though they are punishing us. I mean, the US made it clear, very, very clear, to say that whichever country retaliates against the measures or the tariffs that they imposed on these countries, including South Africa, they are going to get whatever they retaliate with as an additional tariff to be added on top of what the US gave us, or what the US hit us with, right? Or what the US hit that specific country with. Meaning that if we are to retaliate with 30%, US said automatically they are going to add another 30% on top of the 30% tariffs that they've imposed, right? So it is a war that obviously sometimes looking at it from that angle, you will realize that yeah, we will never win this fight. Maybe what the government is doing, it's a good choice, right? Or it's a good decision. But anyways, regardless of these tariffs, there are also some massive breaking news that we received yesterday, right? The news of our GDP growing much more than what is expected. That was the good news. That was the news that really shocked so many people, because I mean, analysts were expecting a 0.5% GDP growth, but South Africa reported a 0.8, which shows that it performed, or the numbers came better than what was expected, which is something that obviously is a good thing. It is a great thing because right now you will know that quite a number of international institutions, they've lowered down their GDP growth onto South Africa. I think IMF lowered it down to just 1%. They see the South Africa's economy growing by 1% this year. There are also other institutions that are seeing not even a 1% but a 0.8%. But again, let's wait, let's see what transpires. Now, that 0.8% GDP growth that we saw yesterday, what really boosted, or that what really fought and came through for South Africa's economy, it's obviously the mining and agriculture. I mean, these sectors led the expansion with mining growing 3.7% and agriculture growing by 2.5%. This is very, very good, especially knowing that we've been hit with tariffs. We've been struggling with tariffs. I mean, yes, the 30% tariffs, they have not really kicked in during this period, but now in Q3, remember we need to take, this is where the 30% will start to weigh in on our numbers. I mean, already the impact of tariffs has already started impacting heavily the our industries, especially the motor or the car industry in South Africa. Quite a number of car companies that are selling in South Africa, including Ford, they've said that they'll be cutting jobs because the demand is not that much. They are not exporting that much of cars, although so many cars in the US because of the tariffs. It's not that easy to take products to the US anymore, and this is leading to these companies not producing, not doing as much as they can, and we have discussed a lot in broad about that. Mercedes also is looking at an option of sharing their factory with another company because they are not producing enough. They are not, because of tariffs, they are not exporting enough C classes into the US, and which is something that is not good at all. I mean, the tariffs, like I said, the real hit will be felt in Q3. Q3, we don't know yet how deep the cut of tariffs will be, right? But we can be quite certain that there's something happening because of these tariffs imposed by the US President Donald Trump. But it is always good to see, obviously, that of course our economy is resilient, it's fighting. I mean, 0.8% versus the expected 5.5%. It is always good, man. It shows the resilience of our economy, and thank God for sectors like mining, sectors like agriculture that are really playing a huge role into ensuring that our economy continues to grow, which is very, very good. So yeah, man, tell me what you think about this. Thought I quickly come and give you this update. Like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell because YouTube has been telling that some of you guys are just watching and not subscribing, and therefore I really humbly ask you to subscribe and not just watch and like the content. If you do enjoy, you will know that I keep the content coming because I believe that it is important that as South Africans we know what is happening in our economy so that you can also sort of like prepare for the future, right? You know where to invest, you know what is happening, because these things, it does not only affect people in business or companies that were exporting or that are in business exporting products in the US, but it also affects or have an impact into the employees, the people that are looking for job opportunities. It compromises or it does have a huge impact into employment in South Africa as a whole, which is something that is not good. But anyways, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. That is all from me, my dear friends, and God bless you all.